This has always been a space where debate is conducted in a constructive manner, fostering points of collaboration, trying to lead to a productive and meaningful outcomes.
Confrontation and the use of force have replaced relations based on cooperation, mutual interest, and compliance with international law. The world of recent years was not easy either, but at least it was more predictable. We have been told loud and clear that we will have to fully assume our own defense.
The first question that I would like to put perhaps to all of you is, the title of the session is, Can Europe Defend Itself Without the United States? The obvious question is, defend itself from who?
We are confronted by what I call the triangle of pressure. Russia, US, and China, all in some ways, not in the same way, but all in some ways threatening the European Union. The problem with European defense is not money. We are spending already significant sums of money. Today, the problem is organization.
The United States no longer shares our threat perception. Russia remains a long-term threat for Europe. Russia has not changed its goals. It wishes to remake the European security order. Europe has a lot to do to close the capability gaps.
We don't need to replace America all around the globe. What we need is to deter a much weaker Russia, to reduce our dependency with the US over time.
For the first time in at least my lifetime in history, we have Russia, China, and the US all sharing the same strategy of divide and rule and destroy the European Union. More money does not mean more Europe. It can mean more nationalization of defense. And this is a risk that we need to really avoid in Europe.
There's also an impression that the Global South has not fully understood what is at stake in Ukraine for Europe and the magnitude of what Russia has done.
This idea of West versus the rest is very untrue. It creates resentment in the Global South. That Europe's problems are world's problem, but the problems of Global South are not Europe's problem. Military superiority doesn't guarantee political results.
Right now, the most likely scenario in the next few years that I see for Europe going to war with Russia involves the scenario in which the United States has indicated quite clearly that it is not going to defend Europe. For the first time in the history of the alliance, the focus of the United States and Europe is not on the same threat. If the United States is not reliable, then there has to be an alternative also provided. When Europeans stand up for themselves, it's actually stabilizing.
We can't replace our dependency on the US on just another actor, another country, another entity. That's not how we're going to solve our issues. We're going to have to diversify portfolios. The vision of Europe and India today is totally different. It's one of the partners with whom India wants to work. We need to understand that there has been a massive shift in European thinking. We're not at a point where we have a common strategic culture. That's true. But we have made strides, I think, that are quite remarkable. And again, that should signify to our adversaries that we are serious about defending ourselves. And that's exactly the message that we want to send.
Well, this is certainly, as someone said in the beginning, not the world the Europeans wanted, not the world the Europeans want, but the one we have. When the European Union stands up, the stabilization of the transatlantic relationship follows. It is based on an more equal partnership that makes the case for overdependence being a negative feature of the transatlantic relations.
We need to accelerate our political union, and cities will be a driving force to achieve it. The world is watching to Europe. What Europe says and does matters.